Have you ever wondered why some people seem uncomfortable around you, even though you did nothing wrong? It's not your words, not your actions. It's your aura, that invisible energy you carry, the silence, the way you look at things, the calmness you hold, can quietly intimidate people without you even realizing it. Today we'll uncover 4 ways your aura scares people without them knowing, through the lens of Stoic philosophy. 1. Your calmness in chaos. Most people panic when life throws challenges their way. They react loudly, complain, or seek validation. But you stay calm, collected, almost unshaken. This unsettles people, because deep down they know that they would have lost control if they were in your place. Your ability to remain still in chaos exposes their inner weakness. Stoics like Marcus Aurelius believed that true strength lies in self-mastery. When you don't let storms shake your inner peace, your presence feels powerful, almost unexplainable to others. And so they fear it. Not because you harmed them, but because your calmness reminds them of their own lack of control. Most people fill silence with noise. They talk endlessly to avoid discomfort, to prove themselves, or to win approval. But you are comfortable in silence. You don't rush to explain yourself. You don't beg to be understood. You let your silence carry its own weight. This unsettles people deeply. Because silence is a mirror. When you don't speak, they are left alone with their own thoughts, their own insecurities. And that can be frightening. Epictetus once said, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we can listen twice as much as we speak." When you embody this wisdom, your quiet presence feels powerful, even threatening to those who rely on noise to feel important. Your silence doesn't just make people curious, it makes them uneasy. Because in a world where everyone is desperate to be heard, the one who doesn't need to speak is the one who truly holds the power. When most people look at others, their eyes wander. They avoid direct contact, afraid of being seen too deeply. But your gaze is different. You don't stare to intimidate, you simply see. You look at people with stillness, with depth, with an awareness that cuts through their masks. And that alone is unsettling, because when someone feels truly seen, their pretenses begin to crumble. The little lies they tell themselves, the roles they play, the insecurities they hide, all of it feels exposed under your quiet presence. Seneca wrote that a man's character is revealed in his eyes. Your steady gaze doesn't just observe, it reminds people that they cannot hide their truth from you. That's why your presence feels heavy to them. Not because you try to dominate, but because your authenticity silently calls out their lack of it. Most people cling to others for approval, validation, and support. They fear being alone, because solitude forces them to face themselves. But you walk alone when you must. You don't depend on the crowd to feel worthy. Your self-sufficiency radiates a power that others can't quite understand. And that power is intimidating. Because when someone cannot be controlled by praise or broken by rejection, they become untouchable. Your independence silently reminds people of their own dependency, and that realization unsettles them. The Stoics believed that freedom comes when you master yourself, not when you control others. And that is exactly what your aura reflects. A quiet strength that doesn't need the world's permission to exist. So remember this. If people seem nervous around you, if they hesitate, if they act strange, it's not always about what you did wrong. It's about the silent force within you, your calmness, your silence, your gaze, your independence. That is your aura. And without saying a single word, it speaks volumes. At the end of the day, your aura is not something you wear like clothes. It's the natural result of your inner discipline, your battles, your growth. When people feel uneasy around you, don't rush to change yourself. Don't dim your light just to make others comfortable. The truth is, their discomfort is simply the echo of your strength. Marcus Aurelius once reminded himself, "Be like the rock against which the waves continually break, but it stands firm." That is what your aura represents: calm, silence, presence, and independence that cannot be shaken. So let others wonder. Let them feel nervous. Let them question why they cannot figure you out. Because the very things that scare them are the same things that make you unbreakable. Have you ever noticed? Some people avoid your eyes, stumble over their words, or act uneasy in your presence, even though you said nothing, did nothing. That's not an accident. That's your aura. A silent force that unsettles others in ways they can't explain. Today, through Stoic wisdom, we'll uncover the 4 hidden ways your aura scares people without them knowing. Your aura is more powerful than you think. Without speaking, without trying, you can make people nervous, unsettled, even intimidated. In this video, inspired by Stoic wisdom, we'll explore 4 hidden ways your presence quietly scares people, and why that's not a weakness, but your greatest strength. If you've ever felt misunderstood for your silence, calmness, or independence, this message is for you.